Hi lads, John with you again, and we're just going to get this finally finished off. Okay. Now there is quite a lot more we could do with it. Like I said, we can play around with pigments on it if that's the way you want to go. If you've got pigments in your stash, use them up, and put on your dust, put on your mud, all that kind of stuff. Okay. I was going to do some splashing, but I think I've enough done in this. We'll give a couple of nice, bring it up a bit closer later on. But what I want to do now is I'm after putting on the tracks, okay, and now we're going to glue them down. Like I said, we can glue the tracks down to where they look as if they're proper, fitted into position. You can put them down like that, but you can be almost guaranteed that they're not going to stay down there. Okay, they're going to keep popping up. So what are we going to use to push them down? If you remember at the very start when I was talking about these tracks during the build, I explained that to my, whatever, that I was a smoker, okay, to my detriment or to my bad health and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a smoker and I make my own cigarettes, and I use these things here, right? See them there? What they are is they are filter tips, okay? Now you can buy a box of filter tips. They're only you get 3 boxes for €1.50. That's what I pay for them in Ireland in deals. I know that in England you can buy them in Poundland, and you get 3 boxes of them for £1.50. And I'm sure wherever you are, they're around the same price, which is, in other words, it's basically pence for a couple of boxes of them. So basically, keep yourself a box and either chuck away the 2 boxes if you're not a smoker, or give them to somebody that is. So what are we going to do anyway? We're going to glue it down. So we're going to use some super glue, okay? And if you can get super glue, one of these little tubey bits at the end of it, right? Dead handy, because you can get it into places that are otherwise hard to get into, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put some along the top of the wheels there at that. Okay, let it squish down in behind. Okay, let it get in there. Let it get in behind. We're not worried too much about it getting in behind. Okay. Now, it mightn't get in there, but we'll give it a try anyway. Alright. Let me get our filters. Now, the easiest way to do it is to kind of use something to push it down with. This is one of those times when it's handy to have a third hand. I don't have a third hand. I just have the 2. Okay. Get it down and push it into place. Like that. Some people use tissue paper. I used to use tissue paper. Okay. Until I found that the tissue paper was much harder to remove. When you were finished with it, you were pulling it out in lumps and things, and I found it very hard to work with. And then one day I was having a cigarette. I was doing the same thing. I was gluing down my rubber band tracks. I started tearing up little bits of tissue paper to fit in, and it was one of those things. There it was, staring me straight in the face. These little yolks here. I said, oh, John's been a fool. He's got a perfect item there. Nice and neat. Okay, you can see the way I did it. Pop them in like that. So we'll go over and we'll do the other side. We're going to get it finished off. We're going to finish it off. Now I am going to sort of put it onto a board. I've one picked out. One of my old dio bases. If you want to learn how to make a dio base, quick and easy ones, I have a video there. Go down through my channel list. You will find how to make a quick and easy dio base. If you don't want to kind of go into the realms of building walls, trees, all that kind of malarkey. If you're not into that and you just don't know how to even start, and you just want something nice and quick and easy to do, if you've got a pussycat, it's even handier, because basically what you're doing is you're gluing Yep, you're using white glue, so you're using white glue to basically glue a load of kitty litter, cat litter, onto a board and paint it all up. Simple as that, and that's what it is. It's just cat litter base, and that'll do for your earth and your stony ground, whatever you want to do. You don't have to go off and buy woodland scenics grass and static grass applicator and all that kind of stuff. If you want to go down that line and you want to go off into making excellent dioramas, off you go. I kind of went down that line for a while, and then figured out, where am I going to put all these fucking things? I barely have room for the kits I make. But I went down that route for a while. I really enjoyed it. I'd love to have the room to make dios. I'd make a dio for every fucking kit I do. But unfortunately, I just don't have the room to keep them. And it's pointless making them if you're going to throw them away. So what I did was I kept onto a few, and I used them then for displaying my new stuff. Okay, so again, push down your wheels onto that. When they take our the filters out, it's not going to be as that little waviness is going to kind of go out of them, but it'll give a certain amount of sag. Okay, so you can do your sag with that, right? So we have another little closer look at the finished vehicle. Okay, all our streaking and all that now has dried in from the last video. There's that nice rusty mark there. Okay, we have it on the roof, and our pin washing. Okay, along our bolts, along all our hatches and openings, along any kind of area that's got either a raised angle beside it. You can see there on the kind of that little gun shield there, little areas like that around this box, whatever thing is there. Same area around the bottom of the mantlet, and around the doors, escape hatches there at the back. Remember when I put that on, I said I'd clean it all off for a finish, and you can see now that that's nice and pronounced. The marks are gone because I cleaned them all off, and it looks nice and pronounced. Whereas if that's just ordinary painted, it wouldn't really stand out. You could see that it's there. You'd have to kind of go in closely to see it. But once you have it, the pin wash gone into the little groove that was there, and the same then with the little pistol ports and things, kind of just makes them all stand out that little bit better, and that's the whole purpose of it. Okay, now, like I said, I just kind of really gave it a basic weathering. Sort of, you should be able to do that at beginner's level. The dot filtering kind of gives it that kind of slightly marbling effect. Okay, and I know my scratches and my paint rips are a bit drastic. Somebody even kind of commented that they liked the camo scheme. Oh, little did they know, it's not a camo scheme, it's all scratches and scrapes. But yeah, I suppose you could call it a camo scheme. It ended up like a camo scheme. But and you could even do camo schemes the same way as how that was done. Okay, but what they were sort of scrapes and scratches. Okay, and like I said, I went overboard purely that you can kind of decide then for yourself what's enough. But you can get the idea then of them in different places, and the easiest way to do that was just to kind of go mental with it, and I did. But overall, I think it worked out pretty nice. Now, a base. I've picked out a base for it. This base now was actually made with some of that Woodland Scenics grass, and the base was actually a a little chalkboard. Okay, picked it up in the pound shop, right? Turned it over, filled the other side with Das clay. Okay, Das clay is an air drying clay. It's you'll find it in any stationaries, places like that that deal with school supplies and art supplies. You'll pick up some Das clay. No, Das is the brand name. Okay, it's not the type of clay. It's an air drying clay, right? So you can fill up with your clay. You can kind of paint it all up, make it all look nice. Then use some PVA glue and just sprinkle on the grass. You don't need a sort of a static grass applicator. Although this type grass is actually called flock. It's not static grass. Static grass is actual little separate pieces that you can all stand up and look nice. I don't have a static grass applicator. I was going to buy one at one stage, but I decided to kind of give up doing dios before I got to that stage. And kind of sorry I didn't get one, because like I said, I'd love to be able to do them, because just don't have the room for them. But I really did enjoy making dios, I must admit. Okay, so we'll just make a nice quick display with this, right? So I'll stick it on a little twirly, all right. Now I'm going to leave those pieces in there I'm just going to leave them in overnight, and I'll take them out tomorrow myself, right? So remember these guys here, our figures that we made? Okay, so here we stick on our figures. We've got first chap. Alright. We've got this guy here, he's kind of leaning to that side of it. Now the bases of these are still just a little bit sticky because I took them off the double-sided tape, which is good because I don't really want to go gluing them onto the vehicle. But you can, if you're going to put them onto the vehicle, just put a little drop of super glue on the soles of their shoes, which I'm going to have to do. I am going to have to do, because they're not going to stick otherwise. Okay, so we leave him there. A little drop of super glue just on the thing. If you're going to use super glue, always try and give it a bit of a wipe off, that you're not putting it all on. Okay, I find just put on your super glue and give it a little bit of a wipe, because it will leave a little bit of a white residue afterwards. I did find that with super glue. Okay, and same then with this chap. Just a small bit of super glue along the soles of his shoes. Get him looking roughly in the direction that his buddy is pointing in. And there we go. You can make your nice little thing. So let's go in a bit closer with that now. Play around with our light. Get it kind of nice. We got something to... Mind my face coming into the picture. Just to block off that with. Bring everything back a bit. And there we go. Okay. And there's your little display, and as you saw from the making of that, nothing at all was hard. And that, lads, I really must say that it's actually quite easy to get that whole effect with those. Okay, we had our figures. I showed you an easy, quick way of painting figures, and again, if you're better at it, and you can go off and you can play around with them and make them even better again. We did the same with the tank. We just built it as normal and give it a basic paint job. In other words, just a single colour, not too much detailed painting. I left a lot of the extra little bits and pieces off. Did go slightly overboard on the scratches, but like I said, the reason for that was to show you all the different types of scratches and where you can put them, this, that and the other. And by going overboard, you can always cut back and see, you can say to yourself, well, that's too much, I wouldn't go that far, and do your own bit with them. But there you go, guys. And I can guarantee you that any one of you is quite capable of getting results like that, and many even better again, because like I said, I just kind of didn't want to do too much to it. I would probably play around with it for just another little bit, do one or two more things to it myself, but I'm telling you, that actually looks quite good enough for me, and I am quite happy with how that whole thing turned out. Okay, so lads, like I said, I'm going to leave you with that. Don't forget to give it the old thumbs up if you want, or you can give it the thumbs down. That's up to you. That is totally up to you. Don't let me tell you what to do at all. But I would like the old thumbs up, of course. I really would. And stick with the channel. And I'm sure we'll have a few more adventures to come. So anyway, lads, thanks for joining me for this series. I enjoyed doing it. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll catch you on the next one. So in the meantime, be nice to one another, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and go out and buy yourself a kit. Build it and enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.